My crazy wife has been trying to turn our little boy into a girl since the day he was born. This all started when my wife and I first started dating when we met at a college party more than 20 years ago and she immediately got knocked up. I was just thrilled to have scored a top tier 10 like her, so I told her that she better keep that baby, and she agreed. We were completely in love, and there were no issues in our relationship other than a little minor disagreement when it came to the baby we were having. She wanted a girl and I really wanted to have a son. I didn't realize at the time how much of a hit on our relationship this kid would be. After all, the gender of the baby did not matter to me that much, as long as our child came out healthy. When our son was born, I was excited to have a boy who I would teach to play football and surf and overall be a gentleman. What I did not realize was that my wife had other plans all along, and that the gender of the baby did not matter to her because she had other plans in mind. When she said she wanted a girl, it was that or nothing. Since the day our boy was born, my wife would coddle him and baby him and dress him in girl clothes. Even our families would get confused. At multiple holiday get-togethers, we had a distant aunt or uncle come by us and say, "Oh, I didn't realize you had a girl. We thought you two were having a boy," and my wife would always smile and look pleased with herself while I corrected them and told them that this was in fact our son. I felt like I was going crazy. As our son got older, my wife's weird behavior towards him only intensified. When he was 6 years old, she came home with him one day after they'd been back to school shopping at the mall, and my son told me he wanted to do a try-on haul for me. I was shocked. Try-on haul? Oh brother, I didn't think he was on that side of YouTube at his young age. He came out of his room wearing pink leggings and a t-shirt with a sparkly unicorn on it and asked me if his fit was slay or nay. I got up from the dinner table and pulled my wife into the bedroom and asked her if she was out of her mind. I told her she was setting my son up to get bullied and I could not stand for that. I asked her whose idea it was to have him get this ridiculous outfit and she admitted that it was hers. The next day, I told my son we were having a guy's day and took him back out to the park. I wanted to see if my soy boy of a son knew how to catch a ball. I took him to a beautiful green grassy field and he ran around like a loon chasing butterflies instead. At this point I lost all hope. I love my son no matter what, but I don't know if it is just a coincidence that my wife's strong desire for wanted a daughter caused my son to behave like a girl, or if she was mentally manipulating him somehow and causing my son to behave like this. I always had my suspicions. On night, at around 1 a.m., I noticed that my wife woke up and went to our son's room. After about 5 minutes, she came back. I was curious to know what she was doing in there. Why check up on him if he's sleeping just fine? She already had a baby monitor watching him at his grown age of 6 because she was such a helicopter parent. He always slept through the night just fine and never came knocking on our door. Once she got back into bed with me, I waited about 5 minutes until I was sure my wife had fallen back asleep, and then I went in to check in on my son. The moment I walked into his room, I damn near lost my mind. There was his hypnosis tape playing and it was hidden under his bed. It was a recording of my wife's voice speaking softly and saying things like, "I'm a pretty little girl. I love the color pink and purple. I love when mom takes me shopping. I love arts and crafts. I am so slay." I did not want to cause a scene at 1 a.m. in the morning, but I shut the tape off and went back into bed with my wife. I felt like what I just heard was a part of a fever dream. I couldn't sleep the rest of the night because I kept questioning what my wife's true intentions were with our little boy and how she could be so okay with manipulating him like this. She had to have known that her actions were sick. When morning came, I went off on my wife. I told her that she was setting our son up for failure and that this was not the way to treat an innocent child. She had been raising him with no sense of self and it was manipulating him by doing all of these sick things. I told her that she needs to go to therapy, and after going back and forth on all of this stuff, she finally agreed to start. I told her we would be putting our son to therapy as well to give him back any manhood he had left. Since then, she has been trying to get pregnant by me again.